Welcome to Grace Studios.
Hi, my name is Awatif. I'm part of the comms team.
I'm Cheryl, also part of the comms team.
Grace, also part of the comms team.
So Grace,
tell us about Grace.
Yes, thank you. So this is our alpha episode, guys. It's the first episode we're shooting, and we're going to take a moment to just know the studio, know our works behind the scenes. We like to know the team. And if I can dive a little bit into Grace Space, we are a Kenya-based startup founded in 2022. It's been almost a year now. We were founded by the African Center for Women in ICT. Thank you very much. And we want to offer a premium audiovisual experience to the creative space in Kenya. And we pillar this around, content development solutions. Some of the services that we do offer, we'll get a minute to get into them. We also pillar around documenting impact stories for our beneficiaries. This is through a lot of and many of the initiatives that Acquit run within ICT for D space. And we usually look at interviews, we have workshops, we have documentaries being taken just so we can be able to understand and listen to the different stories of the young women that have been trained through Acquit's initiatives. And this is a bit of what we look into. I know we have a moment or two to get into it. I don't know.
Yeah, Grace, still to know about Grace Space. What are some of the services we offer?
The services are great. I think we have about 6 on rack, and let's get into them.
So some of the services Grace mentioned that we have, one of it is social media management. Under social media management, we offer consultation services. As we know, in this day and age, social media is the driver, both in content development and entrepreneurial space. So what we do at Grace Space, we offer workshops that serve as consultation for your social media management so that you can grow into the social media age. Another thing we have at Grace Space is the audio and video production services. We have our A-list world-class equipment as well as a team that will help you in your audio video production, be it brand advertisements, be it your YouTube. We have everything that you need in order to start your audio and video production cycle.
Here at Grace Space Studios, we mostly focus on podcasts and how then can we be able to help you develop the best podcast that you can. And there's so many essential parts in then developing a podcast. And one of those things is distribution and revenue models. And that is a very key service that we offer here at Grace Space. We want to provide the client, which is you then, the ability to be able to develop your content and leverage on the platforms that you're going to be sharing them on, whether it's Apple Pods, Google Pods, Spotify, even on SoundCloud. So how can you then leverage on those platforms, create an ecosystem and build up a community that's for you, your followers, your subscribers. And once you have that, at the end of the day, we don't want you to just have this as a hobby. We want to see you make a living out of this. We want to see you earn some coins at the end of the day, create a name, create a brand for yourself. So we'll take you through revenue models, different ways in which you can be able to generate income from your podcast. So whether it's branding and merchandise, whether you're going to develop a whole structure from point A to point B of how you're going to be able to identify different resource mobilization points of your podcast and how you're going to start bringing money back in. Another essential part of podcast structure is branding and merchandising. And this is one of the key services that we offer here at Grace Space Studios. So you want to provide the client the opportunity to learn how to create their presence online. This moves from logos, from your brand values, your brand guidelines, and then how at the end of the day can you be able to bring in some coins into the entire venture of your podcast, which is the merchandising aspect. It's small, it's part of the revenue models that we take care of, but it's still very key. So as you can see, we also have ours here. This is our brand, this is our merchandise. We use this to be able to bring our community together, to be able to create our presence online, to make sure that we are rememberable, make sure that people can easily identify with Grace Space Studios. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, can we be able to bring in some resources into the studio through our merchandise selling it through different platforms. Exactly what we talked about in the content distribution and revenue models. So how can we have that merchandise? How can we have that brand and then use the different platforms that we already created an ecosystem with to be able to work with them and leverage on them to be able to show our brand out there and sell our merchandise. So let's go to Cheryl and hear some more of the services we offer.
Understanding the business side of content development is just as important as developing the content itself. Through our business ideation workshop, we offer consultancies through our network of industry experts and digital entrepreneurs who will help you tap into the business side of your content and help you tap into the market. Welcome to Grace Space. Let's go meet the team.
Hello. Oh, hi, Cheryl.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good.
Yes.
Today I've come to you.
Oh.
Yes.
What about?
I want you to let people know who you are. Sisi kama Grace Space.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Maina Kimatu. I'm the sound engineer here at Grace Space Studios, where I basically do the recordings, the mixing and the mastering, and just making everything about sound good.
Okay. So here at Grace Space, what is it exactly that you do? If you can elaborate more as a sound engineer.
Okay, as a sound engineer here at Grace Space especially, we deal with the podcast recordings. That is where I'm involved in recording the sound for the podcasts and the interviews and maybe the outdoors shoots when we have maybe like documentaries and what can we say, events and so many other things, just anything that involves shooting and filming and and then now that's where now I'm involved as a sound engineer to record the sound and make just to get that quality good sound.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So here at Grace Space, with all the work that you said, because I see there's a lot of movement on not only within the studio but also outside. So what does it look like in a day-to-day basis for you as a sound engineer?
As a sound engineer, basically what happens here is that I'm normally, when there is maybe a shoot that has been scheduled, we prepare from now, making sure that my gadgets are ready. That is making sure everything is working as it's supposed to be, and making sure that my lapels are okay too, which I use, and making sure also everything around, maybe the environment is okay, and maybe just everything to make sure that the sound is okay, setting up. Yeah.
Speaking of environment, I can see the environment for Grace Space is quite different compared to other studios. So maybe can you explain to me like what's so different about all this, how it looks, the aesthetics? And I'm sure when it comes to studio, sound is everything. So explain to us how the sound here at Grace Space is phenomenal, as I can see with all the padding going on.
This is called the panels that we have used. These are for controlling the sound. That is in terms of soundproofing and also sound control. I'm sure if anyone have come across anything to do with a sound engineer can tell. So basically this is for controlling the sound so that you don't the sound doesn't go out, and also making sure that the sound also in here is controlled. There's no like feedbacks, there's no like echoes. You see, to make sure that everything that is in here comes as crisp, how can I say it, as clear, crisp as possible. Hey, Bwana, let me say, like, you see, what we have done here at Grace Space, we have made sure that we have checked everything to make sure everything is good. Like, see, we have made sure that all around we have installed these panels so that they can control the sound, and then also even the ceiling. The ceiling also helps in for sound. Even down for the carpet. But these are some of the simple things that people think that this is just for maybe for decoration or anything, but even the carpet helps.
It helps with sound.
It helps with sound.
I didn't know that.
Actually it does. Because if you use a floor that is maybe shiny tiles, sound can also reflect. That is something that people don't know.
Physics.
So sound can also reflect. Once it hits a reflective surface, now that's where you get those feedbacks and stuff.
Then your sound is,
and you get those bad sounds. And
I can see you have good, hardware stuff that you use there. Maybe you can even tell us about the, should I call them application that you use for your sound when you're editing?
Oh, okay. We have let me first go to the applications maybe. Here, or let me even show you what we have here, because this is also important when it comes to production.
Definitely.
We have the M1 Mac computer, which have the good specs for everything and for recording sound. And then in here we are using Adobe Audition, which we make sure that it's subscribed so that we don't have any interruption, and make sure that at least we are up to date with everything going smoothly.
So you said the one uses
Adobe Audition, but not only that one. I make sure that for Adobe Audition, it gives me that good and friendly recording. And then now for editing, I sometimes switch to another software which is called Logic Pro X. Logic Pro, every sound engineer have their unique taste about something. For me, I love the equalization of Logic Pro. There's something about it that it gives me those details and the dynamics. Let me not go deep into it.
Yeah, because you've lost your sound.
I can see that already. So for me, that is part of my unique part when I'm editing. I switch to maybe the Logic and get the EQ of it, and also the compression of the Logic Pro. Like, basically, let me say I use those two softwares.
So Logic Pro and Adobe
Audition,
Okay. Since you showed me the software, I want to see the hardware.
The hardware now.
Yes. Kama hii ni nini? Mimi naona buttons and
So here we have the Rodecaster, which is being a studio that is at Great Space Studio, and we want to be up to date and have that good quality. We have this the Rodecaster, which is among how can I say, it is the most improved all-in-one hardware for recording podcasts. Yeah, like it have a lot that it does. Even in it, it have its own what do we call them? Its own effects. Like you can control the noise in there. You can control the EQ in there also. You can control. There's a lot that you can do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's something you definitely recommend when someone is, setting up their studio.
Yeah, when you're setting up a studio, especially for podcast and stuff.
Nice, I see.
Yeah.
I've been in this studio quite a while, and I've been seeing this thing, but I've just been seeing buttons. But at least now you've told me, and I actually see that Great Space didn't spare, when it came to the quality of sound that we want to produce as a studio, with the Mac being there. I mean, it's a Mac.
Yeah, there is a lot. There is a lot that helps when it comes to sound. Like what we have invested in, you can see, like I've told you, we have invested in this one, the Rodecaster, and also we have the monitors, studio monitors, which help me to listen to the output when I'm doing the editing.
Kumbe kitu inaitwa monitor, si speaker? Okay.
Now that's why now people, like, you should know, like kuna tofauti ya the studio monitors and the normal speakers.
Okay.
The studio monitors, the way they are manufactured, they're manufactured to give you those good details. As a sound engineer, I know maybe you can't hear them, but for me, when I listen, with all the experience I have and everything I've been through to get to learn all about sound, I can hear the details, and now I can differentiate. Like I can tell you, these ones have the good mids.
Mids.
Yeah. Those one, let me not go to details, but I can tell you, and I can tell you that
quality
they have, like the output is so different from the normal speakers. Okay, and let me put it in a simple way. Like the normal speakers are always created for that. Maybe there's too sabby, they have a lot of bass and stuff. But now this one, they are well balanced to give you that good output.
Okay. Now let's talk about mics. Kama hii yenye tunatumia.
Okay.
It's inaitwa nini? Lapel.
They are called lapels. So we have here we have the lapel packs. The lapel packs, which are from Shure. They are among the best when it comes to the sound quality. You can even hear. They're like there's the depth in it and the quality in it. Yeah, we have invested in buying. We have several of them. We have several of them. We have like around 4 of them. Yeah. So this one, we use them here when we're doing the indoors recording, that is for the podcast and the interviews. Yeah, they give us that good quality and good sound while recording.
Would you say these ones are better than the big mics I usually see most people using in their studios?
No, it depends. It depends.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it depends with what exactly do you want. For us, the reason why as Great Space we bought these ones is that we saw that we didn't want to purchase maybe those big mics for the podcast, so that at least when we are recording the client, or let me say anyone who's here, they don't have there's those a lot of distraction because of these big things and stuff. At least you see this one are small, and you can move with them.
Yeah, easily.
You see,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've told me a lot, and I can see that you love your job.
Yes.
So you've also mentioned that you've been doing sound engineering for quite a while. Why do you love your job, and why do you even love being at GraceSpace?
Okay. There's a lot of reasons, so many reasons why I love my job. One of them being that it's my passion, and I love playing with the sound. I love, how can I say, I love playing with those frequency and everything, playing around with sound. Also, I did mention that I can also do music production.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And as a sound engineer, I can also do music production. So after now doing the music production, the reason why now, let me say, you people as consumers, the reason why you get those good quality sound music and enjoy the music, it's because it have gone through our ears and hands to make sure that we have balanced everything to come out in a good way, so that now you enjoy that good music.
Wow.
Yes.
I think we've been belittling, you people as sound engineers. And I think now, even for me, I've learned a lot.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you for bringing us to your space.
Okay.
And I can see you're not alone.
Yes.
I see sound engineers here at our studio don't work alone. You also have to have a videographer, a supporter, surrounded with his equipment. How are you?
Poa sana.
Ni keti ama?
Keti
Asante.
Hii studio yetu ni kubwa sana.
Nimekuja kukuona. Kindly
Kuniona.
niambie wewe ni nani? Kwa majina.
Tunaanzia hapo. So my name is Ian Kuria. Kwa majina tu.
Kwa majina tu.
Ian Kuria.
Okay, hapa kama kwa GraceSpace. What do you do here at GraceSpace?
So here at GraceSpace, I'm a videographer, and at GraceSpace we basically do videos for like documentaries, corporate videos, and outside event, not like the major event concerts, but like we do some events for like career fairs, such type of events we shoot for our, we can say our umbrella mom.
For Aquict, our mother.
Yeah, mother.
So aside from being a videographer, I believe you're also a photographer. So hapa kwa GraceSpace, what does your work entail?
So here at GraceSpace, apart from being a videographer and a photographer, let me just combine them together, because basically just use a camera for both of them. And we don't just have a normal camera. We have a DSLR camera. This is a Canon camera 90D, and the one that we are using to shoot, it's a mirror lens camera, a Sony one, and also a 4K.
So what's the difference, if you don't mind me asking, between these two?
The difference comes when it matters the quality type. Yeah, it has a high-end quality than this, but both of them serve a good purpose here at studio. Here at the studio. So here at the studio at GraceSpace, I shoot, I edit videos, and before shooting we also do post-production. That's preparing somebody when anakuja studio anataka kushoot. So we guide him or her on how the shoot is going to be, take him or her through the script, so that we can have a proper flow while shooting the video. Yeah. So
on a day to day, siku yako ukiingia kwenye ofisi unaingia hapo 7, 8, 11. Ukiingia siku yako inakaje as a videographer here at GraceSpace?
So when on a normal day, without any shoot, we come to do, I come checking around 8:10. Kidogo tu. So kama if you're not shooting, we cannot lack videos to edit. We always have videos to edit, and me using the office machine, that's the Apple that we have. It's a MacBook, and also we have been provided good laptops here.
I can see.
Yes. We have the Adobe Suite that it combines the software that we need to edit. So on my side, I usually use the Adobe Premiere Pro. That the Adobe Premiere Pro serves a good purpose here. Tukitaka ku edit videos, so I go into my machine. The videos that I have, I cut. So through the editing process, kuna vitu zinaitwa kucut, chop, color grading, adding sound that have been given by my fellow co-worker, the sound engineer Ken, and we come up with a nice video. And when when it's a shoot day, we come do the post-production, as I told you before, guide the person who's going to be shoot, and set up my cameras. We have good lighting here at Grayspace Studios, and we set up the studio well, position the person who are going to shoot, and we do a shoot.
So how do you usually identify where to position a person? Does it depend on the number? Ama ina depend tu na mood yako venye uko hiyo siku?
Ina depend na number, and also we hatusema mood. But it also depends the number and how we want the video to look, because each and every video, it has a certain type of message we want to send. A corporate video, a podcast video, and mostly here at Grayspace also we focus on doing podcasting. I've done a couple of podcasts, and you can go to even to our YouTube channel and you can see some podcasts we have done. And so like when you shoot a podcast, that's an interactive video, so we cannot make it like look an event video, the one that we go outside, or maybe a meeting, a corporate meeting that we are shooting outside. So when somebody comes here at the studio, basically I'm sure we always come to shoot an interview or maybe a talk show or a podcast. So we arrange, me and my team, I have my other teammate called John. He assists me with doing videography. So we come here, arrange the studio and position people according to the way we want the video to vibe. Yeah, the video to interact with the audience. I didn't know it takes
so much. I thought like people just come unawambia kete hapo, angalia hivi. I used to think it was like that, but it actually takes
a lot.
So you mentioned that you use Adobe as one of your software tools. Is it because pia sound engineer pen nimesikia ameniambia also him uses Adobe, or is it just the quality of the software tool?
I can say it's the software itself, the quality, and also it's we don't have so much types of software because each and every software that they are coming now, mingi side they are, I can say, equipped with AI intelligence. But the most here we use is the Adobe Premiere Pro, and sometimes we always dive to another software also known as DaVinci. It's a good software. Yeah, it's a good software for doing your editing, color grading, and having a video to the final edit.
I know hata watu wakienda hapo YouTube, they even check our pictures, our photos there. Ni wewe na John.
Mimi na John.
The people behind the camera. I think that's why it's so important that us as Grayspace, we've taken this opportunity to actually show you guys, because many people usually see the people in front of the camera and not the ones behind. So as a member of Grayspace, I think that's a very good initiative that we came up with. So now you've told me about the softwares. Tell me about all these, this inaitwa tripod.
In tripod.
Nini kwa hapa hii?
Kwa bag kuna kwanga na vitu mob, but at the moment, because I have the Sony here, which John is helping with, and I have my other camera here, it's the Canon. So kwa bag kenye imebaki tu ni batteries and the speed lights. You see the speed light, we use it for taking photography. That's why you have good quality pictures. It enhances the pictures much well when you don't have enough lighting. And these other ones, I have a lens. It's another lens for the Sony. It's a 35mm lens. Basically, it's a wide lens, and the lens that we're using also, it's a wide lens, and it's a good one for making our video much crispy and enhance them.
And quality.
Yes. And another equipment that I've told you, we have the camera, and the other ones too. We have the lights here.
Quality lights.
And there are 2 LED lights. And both of them serve a good purpose here at the Grayspace Studios. 2 tripods that handle the 2 cameras while you are doing a talk show, podcast, or interview. And also we have this is not just a normal hard disk. This is an SSD hard disk, solid state. Yes, it's a good way to store my footages. Any raw footages that I have, I use this one to save them when our office Mac is full.
Okay, when the office mark is full, of course we have to have, something on the side. So you've told me all about this, about you as a videographer, as a photographer, and all that you do. But tell me, why do you love, working as a videographer, if you do?
I do love. So I can say, why do I love me, myself, loving? Mbona napenda kufanya video. Mbona. So basically I love being creative, and when I grew up, I grew with a dad that used to love cameras, and so I had an interest when I was young, and I wanted to know how naona nini kwa TV na sijui mtu ametokea wapi, amewekwa wapi. So when I learned this, I went to school and did my studies. So nikajua everything about editing, color grading. Yeah, so I just have a passion.
When you mtu wa block, hii kitu umesomea bwana.
Iko na passion.
So it's very interesting, and I'm glad that I got to speak to both you and the sound engineer. But since we still have one more videographer in the back scene, let's go to our what if so that we can talk to him.
Hi guys, let's go meet the other videographer. Hi my guys.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Let's meet our videographer. Hi.
Hi, all.
Kwaji. So what do you do at Grayspace?
I'm Sydney. I'm a videographer at Grayspace Studios. Generally, I do shooting of the videos together with Ian, and then we come back and edit. That's our sole purpose. Also, to add on top, we do the photography sessions, but that one also includes Ken, sound engineer. Yeah.
That's nice. So tell me your workflow. On a day-to-day, what does your day as a videographer at Grayspace look like?
My workflow, it depends on the day. Either we are shooting or we are editing. So let's say we are shooting. I'll just wake up in the morning as usual, come to work. After there, tuchukue vitu zetu za kurecord and all that. Ken achukue zake za sound. We go to the field. We'll record the whole day. We establish our shots, our locations, how we want to shoot, and all that. Then from there on, we jump straight into the shooting. After making sure our subjects, the people who we are going to shoot that day, they're comfortable. Then we shoot. Then in the evening, return our equipments back to the studio.
And sasa usha shoot. How does the editing side look?
Okay, editing is more of it's a post-production. So after we have shot, generally the first thing we usually do from there is Ken, the sound engineer, will usually take the sounds. He will go and edit them, make sure they're okay. Then he will give it back to us, me and Ian. So from there on, we will divide our works. I take some part, Ian will take some part. Then we sort them out. We sort the videos, the clips first. Tuzishoni. We just take them, tunaziweka kwa Premiere Pro, we arrange them, we sort them out, tunaangalia. Juu kuna a lot of bloopers when we're shooting. So the unwanted ones tunatoa nje, tunabaki na the necessary ones. Yeah, because ukiweka kila kitu video inaweza take a whole day.
Sure.
Yeah, so from there, tutazipanga kwa Adobe Premiere Pro because that's the software I usually use. Yeah,
What's
to edit.
Why do you use Premiere Pro?
Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
Okay, Premiere Pro is like the standard software for editing and doing all that. Someone's calling. So when I use Premiere Pro, I feel it's more comfortable and it's easier to use. Yeah, compared to other software. There are a lot of softwares, yeah. But Premiere Pro gives you the mandate that you can do anything with it, as compared to some other softwares where they do most of the work, but it won't give you the desired thing you want. Yeah. So Premiere Pro is more of a manual editing software.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice to hear. So what's unique about you in Grayspace as a videographer that other videographers or photographers don't do in their studios that you do at Grayspace? What's your unique selling point in short?
Okay, I think it's the quality of products that we give out. Yeah, the way we shoot, the equipment we use, the software we use, but then none of our softwares are cracked. They're fully bought. Yeah, so it's a license thing. So we don't have a problem with shooting and with editing. It just flows. So you'll find that some Some videographers or editors, they'll use standard, but we use quality. Yeah, straight
Premium.
from the cameras to the lightings to the sound, everything is quality.
Top notch.
Premium. Yeah.
Book at Gracespace.
Yeah, you can even see, you can see the workspace that we're using. It is a higher value workstation. The machine is here. It has a higher storage. The graphics card, it's of a higher capability. Yeah, it's just everything. It's quality.
State of the art.
Yeah.
Gracespace.
Yeah, Gracespace.
So, what do you love about your job? Mbona unapenda working at Gracespace?
Gracespace, it's everything about it is good. Unajua mimi naoganga na maji baridi asubuhi. So ili nikuja job lazima nipende hiyo.
Sema ukweli.
Yeah. So I love everything, especially the experiences we get to experience when you go out to the field, the people we meet, and then shooting is just fun.
It's fun, definitely. I
It's
love
just
it.
fun. Then when you come from there, you have to editing it. You create your own things.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's just fun from the word go. So there is nothing not to love about the job.
Right. Thank you so much, Sydney. Endelea na ni rendering.
Yeah, tunarenda sasa.
Now let's meet our technical lead. Hi, Bwana. Ignatius.
Hi, Awati.
How are you?
I'm well, and you?
So, I want you to introduce yourself and tell us what you do at Gracespace.
Oh, great. I'm Ignatius, the technical lead at Gracespace, and my role within the Gracespace is ensuring availability of up-to-date studio equipment to our very talented engineers, and also just ensuring their safety and creative use of all those state-of-art provided studio equipments.
So you mentioned state-of-the-art equipment.
Yes.
Wewe mwenyewe, what do you use that is state-of-the-art on your day-to-day?
Oh, great. That's a very good question. With the 5 years experience within the tech space, I use various softwares and hardware equipments just to ensure that I can keep track of the studio equipment that we use and that we have. First of all, I use Microsoft Teams to ensure that we schedule meetings both internally and with our able and talented clients as they come to do their various content creations. The other tools that I use include Outlook, just to ensure that we have a fluid flow of communication amongst ourselves and to our clients. And not to forget, I also aid in maintaining the Gracespace website. And within that, I use WordPress and also other software for graphic design, Photoshop, Lightroom, and other tools, just to ensure that we have up and running and creatively curated website.
You Photoshop the website? Never mind. So Ignatius, when you're technical lead here, so what's unique that other technical leads don't do from other studios that you do?
Okay, that's a good question, though. I'll just regurgitate on what I had said. What I uniquely do is that I pride in the talent or with the skills within tech. And as you've had, all the various tools that I've mentioned really help me ensure that I help my team. Because, you know, for them, they're more techy within the studio equipment, but they also need to see how they reflect to use of tech in terms of maybe communicating and things like that. So I really see myself making that bond and collaboration, both from the studio engineers to the communication team and also to the management, that really help us flow well.
I love that. Since I love that, what do you love about Gracespace Studios? What do you love about your job as a technical lead?
What I love about Gracespace as a whole, one is the dynamic and also collaborative nature that we have amongst ourselves. We are always creatively coming up with ways of helping our clients and also either on-site shoots and things like that. And what I really love about my position, it's making me explore my my talent and skills within the technical field.
Love that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
See you.
Well. Bye.
Now let's go hear more from the comms team.
Hi guys, so
Hey,
we're actually planning for the next JSS social media campaign. So we're trying to look at the platform, the content, the message we're trying to put out. It's one of the roles that we play. Within comms, we're also social media managers. Whether you know it,
Anyway, so aside from that, even one of our roles is we are actually co-hosts for different podcasts. Like Grace, you're a co-host for quite a number actually. You should be proud.
I'm a co-host share for the lead series as for AFWIT, as livelihood education advocacy, social economic development podcast. We just touch on the impact of AFWIT through those 4 pillars, and then there's Writing Binary. It's new, it's fresh, it's just about to come out. We're working on it with Tom and we'll get to meet Tom. We're really hoping to see something great coming out of it. It's still in the pipes. And then Surviving the Pit.
Surviving the Pit is actually our podcast. So what we do is Surviving the Pit is an F1 podcast by fans, for fans, where we cover news, races, all the controversies around F1. So we have our social media pages. You can get us on Surviving the Pit, I'm short. Surviving the Pit, Instagram, Facebook, on Twitter. We have really, really exciting episodes for you guys that we're dropping every week on Monday. So make sure to catch us. It's just the 3 of us, ladies in F1.
And we manage social media, we co-host different podcasts, but there's also ideation. We manage the Build Your Own Podcast workshop, and this is typically what the services we're talking about in the ideation and patient services. There, we take participants through a very rigorous 1-week workshop where we take them through the mastery mindset of the podcast. How do you create your content? What type of content you want? How do you stream out your content for platforms? What are your social media? What's the content? How do you create an ecosystem? Revenue models, all of that. And make sure that at the end of the week, you have a podcast up and ready, you have a brand up and ready, and it's just waiting for you to come shoot. And the good thing about those workshops is that you get a chance to, if and so, come and shoot at the studio at the end of the day. So, I think it's a great opportunity to really dive into the creative space. It's a growing industry, and I love it because anyway, I'm creating content and I'm hoping to be something and hoping to be something for somebody else.
That's nice.
Grace.
So I think we're gonna head to
All right, let's go talk.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello. You're good, huh?
Yes. So this is typically our admin hub. This is where we have one of the 2 most key positions here at Grayspace. They head us, they look at us as a whole team, as a whole organization. And this is where the big decisions are made. And let's get to meet some of them, right? So we have this beautiful lady. She's going to introduce herself to us.
So thank you, Grace. My name is Lucy Buluma. I'm the Public Relations and Liaison Officer at the Grayspace Studios.
So what does your workflow look like as the PR officer? What tasks do you have?
So as a Public Relations and Liaison person, I play a vital role of establishing a harmonious working relationship and just ensuring that there is a successful collaboration between the Grayspace Studio and AFWIT. So in this, I make sure that the interests of AFWIT are taken care of within the Grayspace Studio programs. So I work together with the communication team to identify special events and activities that need documentation. For example, I can just give you a simple example that we did sometimes back in March, 8th of March. It's an International Women's Day. So we must take, as a person, now the liaison person, I must take note of the special days that AFWIT takes interest in and would want to document them. And I'm also happy and glad to notify you that just the day after tomorrow, that is on Saturday, we are having World Youth Skills Day. And that is an event, it's a big event that ACWICT is really interested in and taking part in it. And as a liaison person, I coordinate together with the team in doing that. Also, there is this, you've heard me talk about ACWICT and GraceSpace. That is a collaboration, right? So within the ACWICT programs, we have special activities which include documenting the impact stories of students. Those are some beneficiaries who undergo ACWICT program, both employability and empowerment programs. So documenting those ones, the impact stories, plus the interviews that we do there. So I play a vital role in that. And as a peer, that is a public relation. I do a lot when it comes to trying to manage, building and managing relationship with the stakeholders, partners. You know, we deal with a lot of partners, we deal with a lot of clients and stakeholders who come also to record at our studio. So together with the communication team again, I play personally a vital role in trying to bring them to pace. For example, doing official invitation letters to them, to invite them and to come to record with us. And also try to look at our positive image out there when it comes to the communication that goes out there and that comes in, because I'm also keen into receiving feedbacks from the clients who come to record, so that it tells on the improvement, future improvements of everything about our products and everything that we want to do at the GraceSpace. So finally, maybe what I'll also say is one unique thing within my role that I do is once a client comes, it could be a corporate, it could be a client, even our beneficiary, it doesn't matter. We consider you as a client. Once you record with us, I'm always keen on sending out a thank you note just to appreciate them for their time and for them having honored our invite. Yes.
And there's so much on your desk, as you can see, there's so much on Lucy's desk. You're talking about events, you're talking about managing a relationship with ACWICT, you're talking about customer relations and interfacing. With all that, how does your day look like when you clock in here in the morning? Where do you start? Where do you end? What's in the middle?
Yes, so Grace, whenever I get in the morning, first of all is to keep my calendar intact. I check on my desk and take note I prioritize looking at what events are coming or who is supposed to come and record, and also go back and check, have I done my due diligence? Like, have I sent out invites in good time? Or have I responded to any client that is sending in feedback? Because you can invite a client who maybe let's say the client was busy and maybe is requesting for a reschedule. So look at that. And also, let's say for example, a day when now a recording is happening, the client will come, yes. I'll also play that role in between now when the client is coming and when they are being prepared by the communication team on those pre-production meetings and being prepared on the topic. I also join the team to play a role in that. So typically my day begins by me looking at my calendar, looking at the activities that I'm supposed to do, because remember I said that I'm a liaison person between ACWICT and GraceSpace. So there are also activities or mandatory roles that I play as an ACWICT staff and try to balance them, manage within the ACWICT, within the GraceSpace studio. So I try to clear my to-do list and look at who is coming next or which event is next, so that I now prioritize them and keep the day flowing.
So speaking of the calendar and just diving more into it, you must use many other tech tools that then help your work to be more efficient, more streamlined. Can you dive into the type of tools that you use that then, help you on the day-to-day tasks?
Grace, most of the tools that I use are technological tools, let me say so, both hardware and software. And as you just came in, I was doing a letter.
All right.
Yes, I was just doing a letter to a client, inviting them for some interview next week. So I use Microsoft Office. I use Microsoft Office to do my letters, the ones that I send to the clients and the thank you note. For me to send, so it means, again, I use Outlook. Yes, I use Outlook so much. And for me to even schedule meetings with clients, so I use Teams so much. And the calendar that you've heard about me speaking about it several times in my video. So I use the calendar so much because, again, remember, I'm the last person between client and GraceSpace.
Client and GraceSpace.
Yes. So you can imagine, most of the time, I must sit down, arrange my calendar so well so that I'm not messed up. I'm not supposed to be waking up, then I'm gotten in the middle of everything that I'm supposed to be having a client today, and I didn't have that. Yes, so I must put a calendar with all the reminders so that I'm up to the pace. Then apart from calendar, there is to-do list, right? So when I come very early in the morning, I must look at the to-do list and see between this time and this time, this is what I'm supposed to be doing as I take as the day goes by. Yes. Then maybe finally on hardware also, let me just complement the software. I use laptop. I use my laptop and also my phone. Just charging here, yes. So I use my phone because I make a lot of calls. Yes, I make a lot of calls to the clients, stakeholders, and the corporate. Yes, so that is what I use.
And that's great. So Lucy, we have your day-to-day, we have your workflow, we have some of the tech that you leverage on to make your work easy, and we have a layout of typically what you do at GraceSpace. And so, why do you think you love what you do? Do you love what you do?
Grace, I enjoy my work.
Very good.
I enjoy my work so much because, again, remember, it's now me between here who is looking at the achievements, the milestones we are creating. When it comes to now Arquict, I'm the one interacting with the participants who are coming to document their success story. It's so good listening to a success story. It's so good, and it inspires me a lot. It gives me a sense of direction. So I really enjoy my work.
Direction to where?
Yes, if you're inspired. Let me say a participant comes and shares her journey, where she started from, where she is now, and where she's going or envisions herself in. I'm telling you, you get inspired. So again, at GraceSpace Studio and Arquict, I enjoy a lot what I do, and hopefully, yes, this is a collaboration that is going to continue being live and continue being a success. Yes.
So thanks, Lucy. That was really key. I hope that now we have an understanding, when you're reaching out to GraceSpace, when you're reaching out to us, we have somebody on point, making sure that our relationship, our engagement is at 100. So I'm gonna let you get back to it. But speaking of inspiration, let's talk to our founder. Let's meet the brains behind GraceSpace, the head of this entire monster car, Ferrari. Let's listen to talk.
So thank you very much, Grace. So yes, my name is Thomas Ayuaki, and first and foremost, I'm a GraceSpace Studio team member, but more specifically, I am the program lead for the studio, which essentially means that I oversee all GraceSpace Studio projects and all day-to-day activities that are related to the same. I also, together with the communication lead and the liaison officer, manage all individual and corporate entity interests. And essentially, just to simplify that, it means that we manage the business side of things. So everything from engaging and talking to potential clients, to securing contracts that can be able to sustain the Grayspace Studio existence long term, and really just making sure that we manage them long term. So taking care of all sorts of interests, whether it's recording podcasts, interviews, documentaries, or anything of that sort. Other than that, I'm also a content developer in some way, through co-hosting a podcast that we are very passionate about called Lead Series, which has a sole objective of showcasing or highlighting how technology is impacting the socio-economic development in this country. I'm also a co-host of an upcoming podcast called Relatively Binary that I'm also very, very excited about. And then finally, the last task that I do on a daily basis is help the script development team and research team in ensuring that everything that we're talking about is actually based on factual and result-oriented analysis. And so that's what I do on a day-to-day basis.
And Tom, you're really hands-on. You're really in there, into the mud. You're on the admin side. You're developing content. You're working with us to develop scripts. You're really just in the thick of it at the same time. So how do you manage to keep all this in line? What do you use to help you keep everything in line on a day-to-day?
So I think the one thing that I've learned about being in a leadership position is delegation and trust is something that's very key for me. So what I've always done is that with every key task, every key activity that is presented to my table, is establish small technical teams that can be able to assist me. So whether it's you, Grace, within the communication space, or Lucy as a liaison officer, or even the production team. So figuring out ways in which you can be able to bring in other members and have them contribute creatively to other process that has positive results is something that I hold very, very, very close to my heart, and that's why we've been able to succeed in such a short period of time.
And so you're working on, you're really a team player. You really want to make sure that the entire team is involved, and you're giving out tasks, you're taking tasks on your own. But how do you keep track of this task? Do you have tools that you use to help you keep track?
So for me, yes. I think again, as I'm sure most of you have indicated in your different interviews, we have to create a balance between our work as part of the Africa Center for Women and ICT and Grayspace Studio. So it's very, very difficult because being a startup, we don't necessarily have the funds to be able to hire project assistants and interns and so forth. So we really rely on technology to manage our day-to-day activity. And I think for me, one thing that I'll tell you is that, I live and die by these applications that I'm about to mention. So, on a daily basis for me, I think the app that stands out in terms of the number of hours I exist in is probably Microsoft Teams, because that's what allows me to kind of, in real time communicate with different people, collaborate on work, especially around research and script development in real time, as well as, just facilitate virtual meetings and collaborative activities that I would want maybe people from even as far as Kisumu, Busia to engage with. So other than that, I also work a lot with calendars and to-do lists. So again, it goes back to the statement I made earlier where it's about balancing Arquic's needs and Grayspace Studios needs as well. So just making sure that on a daily basis, I wake up, look at different activities that I'm supposed to implement, translate them into to-do lists, complete with timelines that I need to complete state tasks. I think for me, that's those two applications are very, very important. Then finally, I like working a lot with applications like Outlook, because again for me, I'm an old school guy. I don't really do a lot of voice or text communicating. So especially when it comes to official matters, I try as much as I can to exist within emails, because that's where all the evidence of activities that we are doing takes place. So those are the 5 applications I work with: Teams, to-do lists, calendars, SharePoint, especially for collaboration, and I think those are the main ones that I engage with on a daily basis. When it comes to hardware, as you can see, I'm a big fan and I'm very specific about the type of hardware that I use. And the reason why is because once I was introduced to this space, it became close to impossible to kind of, again, work with other different devices. So I have my laptop here that I use for script development purposes, research, and really any other administrative activity that comes to play. Then I have my phone. I know Grace will laugh because I have a pink cover, which I'll provide context in a few minutes' time. But basically, the reason why I have two phones is because one basically takes care of my personal engagements, and then this one is specifically for Grayspace Studio. So obviously, pink is a very, very weird color, but the person who bought this for us decided to play a prank on us. And I've been surviving with it for a while, but hopefully I'll be able to make changes when the time is right. So this is how I basically manage this. This is how I manage my life on a day-to-day basis, just making sure that I separate tasks, and while at the same time giving equal time to both contact lines to ensure that I'm dealing with all issues that come on a day-to-day basis. Then this doesn't qualify as technology, but it's equally important. I like, again, separating some of the things that I do for Arquit in Grayspace Studio. And again, I know I'm looking very suspicious because again, this is pink, but it's part of a long-running prank that I've gotten too involved in. But I like separating again activities because it helps me figure out stuff that I need to do for Arquit, stuff that I need to do for Grayspace Studio, as well as the two podcasts that we are doing. So it's kind of, I think for most of us, it's kind of cool to always just make sure that you keep it old school at separate times, and that's why the two books specifically come in. And then finally, this is an iPad. I know the cover is a little bit worn out, but that's how you know it's real and it's something that is used on a day-to-day basis. And the objective for me is to use it specifically when I'm doing podcasts, because I can't keep moving with my laptop. So I try as much as I can to keep all the relevant notes, keep all the relevant topics that I'm supposed to talk about within this particular space. And it makes it a little bit easier, because when I go to this with the studio, it just becomes a question of properly setting it up in such a way that I can be able to go through the questions, while at the same time also keeping eye contact with the interviewee. And then, other than that, it's just this wonderfully green set here that keeps hold of all of my pens, markers, and anything really that's needed for my day-to-day activities.
Thank you, Tom. And on a more funnier note, prank is just because everyone likes big, not really the liking for big. It speaks of the confidence for all of us to just be, having such a bright color. But bright colors speak also the bright confidence of the team that's here and the type of work that we look for. So the prank is going on. So Tom, you already talked about how hands-on you are, the type of tech that you use on a day-to-day to just help streamline your activities. So you clock in, you wake up, you clock in the office, you clock out. We really want to know, what does that day look like for you?
So for me, I think the day starts a little bit earlier, and the reason why I do that is to essentially make sure that I have a full picture of my day before I get to the office. So by 6 o'clock, I'm usually working on my office phone, and essentially the tasks that I'm engaged with are around figuring out what activities have been assigned to me, and what timelines essentially surround said activities. So I spend a lot of time on Outlook and the to-do list to make sure that I'm transferring them into an application that can be able to track what I'm supposed to do, when I'm supposed to deliver it, and what I'm supposed to work with. And so once that is done, I start preparing and make sure that I get to the office by around 7:30 or somewhere close to that. So as I come in, I think for me the most important activity is just engagement with key staff members, and I like doing that through a general meeting, because for me what that does is that it establishes what the day is going to look like for everybody, and then how we can be able to find opportunities to not only collaborate but also track activities that have different outputs coming out. So going into meetings, whether it's with the production team, whether it's with the communication or liaison officer, I think that's where we try and make sure that we have everything that we need to do throughout the day. And then as we approach the afternoon, that's when I like spending a lot of time now exploring my creative budgets. So that's around developing scripts, developing scripts around cool things that I want to do within the podcasting space, as well as the social media and marketing area, as I'm sure you're well aware. And also just within that same period, trying to figure out what's the next thing that I would like to engage with and create time on as we look to venture into new spaces on a daily basis.
Thank you. And from the way you speak, Tom, you have so much passion, you have so much love for what it is that you do, so much love for GraceSpace. Could you tell us what about this entire franchise, the studio, the team, the achievements that we've made so far, what about it makes you love it the most?
I think it's just about being able to work with like-minded people in developing stories that I know have a significant socio-economic impact. As my colleague Lucy said, nothing makes us more happier when we're talking to students, when we're talking to teachers, leaders within the community, about how technology has been able to impact their lives. So just being able to participate in those activities, whether it's in script development, whether it's in pre-production meetings, interviews, or directly through interviews, as well as just engaging with them in figuring out how they can be able to best tell their story. That for me is what I love about engaging with the GraceSpace Studio team, and that's what I thank Arquette on a daily basis, for allowing us to do this for this long and this successfully.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you, Lucy. This has been a wonderful deep dive into what you guys do, the type of value that you have at GraceSpace. And thank you guys, that has been our alpha episode. You've gotten to see the office, the entire space, the studio most especially, and you've learned about the team, everyone behind the entirety of the GraceSpace Studios, what we do and how much we love what we do. And take a moment to check us out on our socials down below. Make sure you drop by our website, gracespacestudios.biz. There's so much more there. All the information you've shared today in a much more interactive platform. You can book for a session there, you can book for inquiries. Lucy will be there to reply, I will be there to reply. Tom is also on point to reply. You can be able to interact with the entire team through our website and our socials. We hope to see you much more on this channel. We've just launched, we've just opened. We have so much more content coming into through YouTube, and can't wait to see you more. Thank you guys. Hope you have a wonderful time ahead.